2.5 million Americans get married every year, and every bride wants to have that picture-perfect wedding. I'm Sierra Scott. In the next half hour, we'll help you do just that. We'll take you to one of the most beautiful venues on the planet. We'll introduce you to an event planner who will make sure your wedding is as distinctive and unique as you are. And we'll talk to a videographer that will tell us why videography is just as important as great photography on your special day. And finally, we'll take you to the place every bride dreams of, and that's the wedding gown shop. We have a place that has high-end looking gowns without the high-end price.
Hi, Sierra. How are you?
I'm fantastic.
So glad to see you. Thank you for coming back to the winery.
Absolutely. This is my favorite place on earth, I gotta say.
Thank you so much.
And like how I dress for the occasion.
I love it. I love it.
I love your wines. You've won so many awards with these.
We've been very fortunate. We've won several awards. We make some of our wines here on premises, and we've done really well with a couple of them. In fact, this Syrah is one that I'm so proud of that's won several awards. I'd like for you to try that today, if you don't mind.
I would love to.
Come, let's go look at it. Sierra, this is the wine I was telling you about that I'd like you to taste. This is a full-bodied wine that we make here on premises. And it's won several international awards, and we're very proud of this wine.
I can't wait to try it. It's gonna be so good. Now, how many wines do you make total on the premises?
We make 4 wines here ourselves. And those wines are made here by our winemaker, who happens to be our son. We have family members that work here, so he's really good at doing what he does.
Oh, this smells so wonderful. If that tastes half as good as it smells, it's gonna be fantastic. Now, you have wines other than just your own here, right?
Right. One thing we want people to do is experience a great wine tasting. So when they come in, they can taste our wine, they can taste wines from all over the world, and we have them from virtually every continent.
I know why you won awards with this. This is incredible.
Well, thank you. We're proud of it.
Now, you just bottled a rosé as well, correct?
We just bottled a rosé. We're excited about that. It's just been entered in some contests. You know, we haven't seen the results from those contests, but we're very excited about it.
If it tastes half as good as this, it's going to win awards, I promise you.
Good.
Now, when people come, is it best for them to make reservations? How does that work?
Well, you know, if you're going to bring a larger group, we do like reservations, but we just encourage you to stop in anytime you want to.
Now, what makes this unique is the fact there aren't a lot of wineries in this area, right?
They're not. There's a couple of wineries north, and there's one a little west of here, but there's no one that has the area that we have with all of the with our reception center and all the events and so forth that we have here.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that in a minute, because I think that's absolutely incredible. Now, this building itself has a unique story too.
It does. It was an old milk barn, and when we bought it, it was all caved in, and we decided to build a winery, so we built it from ground up. And it was a milk barn back in the 70s that a lot of milk was made here.
I think that's crazy. It adds to the experience for me. I kind of feel like I've died and gone to heaven. Now, a lot of people come here for special events too, right?
They do. We have many weddings a year, and birthday parties and anniversaries and so forth. And Cheryl, my wife, can tell you all about those.
Yeah, in fact, I'm looking forward to it. So I'm going to go now and have Cheryl, your wife, and your daughter Sarah kind of take me on a tour of kind of the neat event centers that there are.
That'd be great.
Okay.
That'd be great.
Cheers.
Cheers.
gosh, Cheryl, it's so good to see you. Oh my gosh, how are you?
So good to see you.
Oh, I love coming here. It's so beautiful every time I walk in. It's amazing.
Thank you.
You know, one of the things, and I think you have such an advantage, is you have beautiful venues like this. And there's more than just this venue on this property, right?
Yes. That's one thing, is that we have so much going on here every day. So we might have a birthday party, a bridal shower, a rehearsal dinner, an anniversary, all going on at the tasting room. And then there may be a wedding in the chapel and in the reception room. There might be a small intimate wedding in our valley. So we have a lot of spaces to be creative with and to create anything that anyone can imagine or find on Pinterest. We can try to make it happen. So we're proud of that, and that way it's not the same thing over and over again. And we can just make it really personal and intimate with what the bride wants.
And I love that. I think that's so cool. And I know, Sarah, you handle a lot of the weddings because it comes through you, Cheryl, and then Sarah, you kind of make them come true. How do you help a bride decide where she wants to have her wedding on the property?
Well, we talk a lot. We visit each of the spaces, kind of get their vision, what they're wanting, you know, what thoughts they have. Most of them have a Pinterest page that they've been working with. So we just kind of look at that and what we have to kind of pair with it to be able to bring their vision to life. And sometimes it's a long process, sometimes it's quick, but because we have so many spaces and so many things that we have here that's ours because we do our own events, it makes it a lot easier, and a lot more fun.
Oh, yeah.
So, but usually we just kind of take what they have already and just kind of help them get to where they want to be.
Sarah, you brought up a really good point, and Cheryl, I kind of want you to expand on that because if a bride comes here, you kind of are an all-inclusive, and I just visited the winery, so wine can even be part of the deal.
Yes, yes. And so, because we have so many events here at Sassafras that are our events, or that we're setting up for people's dinner parties, or we're having murder mysteries, or wine tasting events, or wine dinner pairings.
You do it all.
And things like that, I know. So it's always something going on. And we have all of our centerpieces. We have 2 storage buildings full of centerpieces. We have chargers, china. We have so much that if someone called and said, I want to get married tomorrow, we would be like, we got you covered. We can take care of it for you. And so it simplifies that. Plus, it's a big, huge savings for the bride. And then it allows them to spend their extra money on some really fun, creative stuff that they can find at bridal rental places, or bring in some amazing furniture or different lighting or whatever they want to do, because there will be the extra monies available that they're not having to spend on, you know, linens and centerpieces and things, because they simply just check those out and check them back in again.
That is awesome. And Sarah, when the bride comes here, there are some advantages to having a wedding here. What are some of them?
The biggest one I would say is our peacock room, which is what we call the bridal suite for the bride and the bridesmaids and mom and sometimes grandma, just whoever she wants to be in there with her. But that's her little area that she can get dressed and have her makeup done, have her hair person come in and do her hair and the bridesmaid's hair. A lot of times we'll bring up mimosas and some little meat and cheese snacks for them.
Yeah.
But it's a really nice room and it's secluded, so she doesn't have to worry about running into the groom or all the vendors that are coming in doing all of their setups. She doesn't have to worry about any of that because she has her own little fun space that she's getting ready in when all of that's going on behind the scenes. So
I think that is fantastic. And I think isn't it a one-way mirror where she can kind of see out as people arrive, but they can't see in to see her?
That's right.
I think that's so cool. I know.
Isn't that awesome?
It is awesome.
I know. She can just stand up there with whoever she wants to be up there with and watch the guests park, watch them walk to the chapel, and they can't see her, but she can see them.
That's something I've never seen anywhere.
Yeah,
So that's really cool. You know, as I told you earlier, this is such a gorgeous room. What events would you normally have in here?
Well, in this room, it's large enough to host weddings, corporate events, galas, fundraisers, and things like that.
It's beautiful.
Thank
I just love it in
you.
here. So we talked, there are other venues as well, and you just added a new one.
Yes, we did. I have to show you our new veranda that overlooks the vineyard. It's beautiful.
Can't wait to see it. Let's do it.
Okay.
Oh my gosh, you are right. This is stunning. I bet a bride could just have a beautiful ceremony here.
Oh, yes. We love our new veranda. It was just completed, and we've already had 3 weddings here, and it overlooks the vineyard, which makes it just a really nice backdrop. And the bride will have her choice. She can either use this veranda or our chapel ruins, which is an open-air chapel, and it's kind of our signature space on the property. And then we also have the peacock room, the reception room, so she has all the spaces to utilize however she wants.
That's fantastic. So, Sarah, if somebody wants to get a hold of you, what's the best way to do it?
Email, or I would say call us. Probably call us would be best.
Okay, excellent. Well, I will tell you this. This is a gorgeous venue, but if you want it decorated really uniquely, coming up next, we've got somebody that can do that for you. Julianne, how are you?
I'm good. Hey, Sierra.
So good to see you.
Nice to see you.
I love coming into pretty old stuff because I really feel like I've taken a step back in time. But what I think is neat is these things don't just sit on a shelf. People actually get to use them.
Oh,
so how are you different from a normal party rental store?
Everything we have in here has been hand-picked, and it's one of a kind, and it's vintage. So we buy things pretty much one at a time.
And
So.
I love it. I just think it's beautiful. Where do you find these things?
Oh gosh, we love shopping and looking. We go picking. We go to flea markets a lot, garage sales, some of the resale shops. Those are the main places we get things.
What determines if something's vintage or not?
That's such a good question. And you know, sometimes when people think of vintage, they think of hay bales and straw and burlap. And if you look around, we just really don't have any burlap or hay bales.
No,
so
none here.
We can do that if you really like that look. But to me, vintage is something that's been around a while and has some character and maybe been passed down from one generation to the next. And it has some nostalgia. So people see our stuff and they're nostalgic about it. They talk about it at the dinner. And does that help?
Yeah, explains it great. Now, the thing that I thought was really cool is the plates don't necessarily match.
Right. Everything we have in here, almost none of it matches. So the idea behind that is we like mix and match everything. So when we look for things that are beautiful, we try to find things with a pattern in the middle, and we like to stack them on top of another plate. And definitely we like to show our things off in pairs because it just brings so many different colors alive. Looks really pretty on the table.
I love that. Now, you do a lot of events. I mean, the majority are weddings, but you do other events too. How do you determine what to use at every event?
Well, a lot of it has to do with listening to the client. So at a regular rental company, you'll call up and you'll say, you know, I need 50 plates for an event. I need some goblets, need some forks. When you call us, then we actually have a conversation over the phone. We give you a kind of a design concept. So I'll ask you a little bit about what you're doing, what colors you're wanting to use, kind of what your style is. And then I put the order together based on that. So we kind of customize every order.
Speaking of character, one of the things I noticed, you have the coolest teacups. They have such character.
We do. We have so many teacups.
Can we go look at them?
Yeah, let's go look at them. Cool.
I think the last time I used a teacup was when I was a little girl and I was having a tea party, but actually you're using these now.
Oh gosh, yeah, we use these for lots of different kinds of parties. I have a wedding coming up, and the bride is actually British, and so she's kind of trying to tie that in, and they're going to serve the soup in a first course.
That's a cool idea.
Yeah.
I love that.
I love that one with the violets.
I
That's
do
really pretty.
too. That is really pretty.
And you know, the baby shower thing is big. Do you know about that?
No.
Well, it's called a sip and see. So, you know, you don't have to rush when you're at the end of your pregnancy, you're getting ready to have a baby. You can wait till the baby's born and then have all of your friends come over, and we'll come and style it and bring our teacups and have a sip and see, come and drink the tea and see the baby at the same time.
Well, that's a great idea. The biggest thing to me is you don't just say, here's your 10 teacups, good for you. You actually help with the design process too.
Absolutely. So when you give us a call, we actually take time. We actually schedule an appointment sometimes to make sure that you have plenty of time. And we talk and we visit free of charge and find out what exactly you're trying to do with your party. So we find out how many guests you're having, what colors you'd like, what kind of items you'd like to include. There's so much stuff in here, it's kind of overwhelming. You can come in here and look around and take a look and pick some things out, but we'll also guide you. We don't send you out the door with a box. We're just really not cash and carry at all.
And you made a good point, because look at the plates. I mean, there are a lot of plates
We
in
have
here.
a ton of plates, and one plate's not the same as the next. So
No.
we have the old-fashioned sort of vintage with the little tiny patterns like that you're remembering about the tea parties, but we also have some more contemporary looks that go with some of the more moodier colors, like with our goblets. We have bohemian as a big theme with lots of brass and lots of the colored glassware. So all kinds of things, and we help you figure out how to put them together so they look nice.
So if you want to reach you, what's the best way to do it?
You can always give us a call or hopefully follow us on Instagram. You can keep up with everything fun that we're doing, and it's Pretty Old Stuff NWA.
You know, everything you do makes the photograph more beautiful. And really, after the wedding, that's what the bride really cares about. And coming up next, we'll talk to a videographer that will tell us why videography is just as important as great photography on your special day.
You're a local business owner and you want to attract potential customers. Anyone, anywhere, on any screen. Cox Media can help with advertising solutions designed for local businesses like yours. So your neighbors consider you first. With Cox Media, you reach potential customers using a combination of television and online advertising, delivering results that help your business grow. Start exploring great ideas for your local business by calling Cox Media today.
Hey, Dave, how are you?
I'm great, Sierra. How are you?
It's good to see you.
Good to see you.
So what you working on?
I'm just getting ready for an event here tonight.
Wow, this is going to be a great video no matter what, I think. Wow.
Yeah. Well, it's such a great venue. I always love shooting here.
Well, one of the things that I love about you is the name of your company, Dave and a Camera, because it says what
Yes.
you're getting exactly.
Yes.
How long have you been in business?
I've been doing this full-time for about 5 years and part-time before that a couple of years. So about 7-8 years now.
You've shot all sorts of weddings, Savvy Shields, former Miss America. That's a
Yes.
big deal to me.
Yes.
That is really cool. You know, a lot of people, which I love that Savvy and a lot of people recognize this, a lot of people put thought into still photography, but they don't really put a lot into videography. It's kind of afterthought. Why do you think videography is just important for your wedding?
Well, I think it's just as important because it's another way to relive your wedding day. And they're two very different mediums. And so you have still photography and you have things that video can do that photos can't, like having audio and being able to hear speeches and your vows and all those sorts of things where still you get your photos, but for video you're able to actually relive your wedding day and actually see everything about it.
I agree with you, because the thing is, when you look back, the wedding goes like this, and you miss it all. And it's nice to be able to go back and actually hear what's said, because you don't normally hear it at the time.
I mean, it's a blur.
Yeah.
I've had so many couples tell me that it was a blur, we don't really remember it, but we're so glad we got video so we can relive it.
I agree. And so I think, and for me, I go back and watch the video, I think, more than the still pictures. One of the things when people go to choose a videographer, though, and I've seen people and they regret this, they go, well, I'll pay a lot for a still photographer, but Uncle Bob can take the video. And I hate to say it, Uncle Bob can't take the video, and you'll be really disappointed. So when I go to look for a videographer, what am I looking for?
Well, I think you want to look for someone who knows what they're doing. Like you said, there are kind of the Uncle Bobs out there, and you want to look for someone who has a good amount of work that they can show and who has a kind of diverse portfolio. I think it depends on what you're looking for, but you also want to look for someone who, like I said, can capture audio and capture the things that you want. Audio is so important, being able to, like I said, hear those vows and hear your father's speech and just all the little moments in the day. And I think most importantly, you want to find someone who fits your style. I'm not for everyone, and that's okay. But there are a lot of other videographers who fit what other couples want. And so I love to create videos that my couples love. And so I think I have a certain style that certain people want. And I may not be for everyone.
Well, your styles are what I want, because I think what I find very interesting about the videos that I've watched that you've done, you manage to make them look more realistic. In other words, they're not as posed and they're not as awkward. You capture those real moments. How do you do that?
Well, I think a lot of it is keeping it very kind of authentic. I love to create films that are not kind of staged, but very real, and it's a very real moment. It's a very real day with lots of emotions and lots of family and friends, and it's a celebration. And I love being able to capture that and bring that to life in a way that feels very authentic to the couples.
Which is cool, because some of the videos I watch, I feel like I'm at the wedding. I don't even know these people, and it does make me feel that way. How did you come up with that way of shooting? It just is really interesting to me.
Well, I think part of it is wanting to make sure that my couples feel the way that they did on their wedding day, and being able to relive that day in a way that feels, like I said, very authentic and very unique to them. Because every wedding is very different, and so each couple is going to have a different experience watching their video. And I love having other people who weren't even at the wedding say, I feel like I was there. And I feel like that's when I know I've done a good job in creating a film for my couple.
So let's take a look at some other places in this venue that would make a beautiful video. And speaking of that, how important is the venue to making the video really beautiful?
Well, I think it's important. It's not the most important thing. Obviously, the couple is the most important thing. And if the venue is something that they want highlighted, I always love capturing the venue.
So if people want to reach you, what's the best way to do that?
Definitely through my website. It's just daveandacamera.com.
And up next, we're going to take you to the place the bride, this is going to be your favorite, trust me. It's where she finds her wedding gown. And this is a place that has high-end gowns without the high-end prices. Julie, it's so good to see you.
Hi, Sierra.
I love coming in your shop because I feel like a kid in a candy store. I want to try everything on.
Thanks, it is exciting.
I imagine it's almost overwhelming for brides to come in here because you have so many choices. Is it better if they know what they want, or is it better if they don't come in with a preconceived idea?
Really both or neither. We just want you to have an open mind. A lot of brides come in, they have a Pinterest board full of gowns. Some of them have an exact idea of what they want, and some just come in and say, style me. So I think the key is, if you have an open mind, you're gonna find the perfect dress.
You know, one of the things I think is a big advantage for you, and for the bride especially, is you have gowns in all sizes, and not all stores do that.
Yeah, we want to dress every bride. So we have gowns from the smallest bride size to up to 30. And with our clips, we can work magic, and we can help a bride into any dress because they really want to try on the dress they're going to get married in.
And another advantage I think you have, and because it just feels so comfortable in here. I love coming in here. You really have very personalized service.
We do. We offer a more relaxed atmosphere. So you can come in your gym clothes, you can come in with your kids. We welcome anyone, and I think it's really important to have that fun experience with your whole family and really feel like everyone's involved.
And another thing is, too, the bridesmaids' dresses. That is so important. You have a lot to choose from.
We do. And it's fun whenever you're trying on your dress to be able to try on bridesmaid dresses at the same time so you can get the full look of your wedding.
Let's go take a look at them.
Okay.
One of the hardest things, I think, would be picking a bridesmaid's dress, because your bridesmaids could be size 4 and range up to 30.
Sure.
So how do you find a dress that looks good on everybody?
Well, something like this that has more structure to it is something that's going to look really good on a lot of body styles. But what we're seeing a lot of brides do is let their bridesmaids pick their style. So they may pick a color like this, a taupe, but then it's up to the bridesmaid to pick which style that she wants.
Oh, that's a great idea.
Yeah, it makes for a really interesting procession at the wedding, and every bridesmaid feels comfortable in what they're wearing.
And I love the fact that there are some now bridesmaids dresses that you'll be able to wear again.
Yeah, a big popular trend right now is the all sequin gown. So this is something that is really fashion forward. So you might want to wear this at a cocktail party or another event, as opposed to just wearing it for the wedding.
That's a great idea. One thing I noticed too is wedding gowns aren't necessarily all white anymore.
Right.
In fact, I've seen black ones.
Right. We have a black one in the store, and it's really popular right now to get a gown in a blush color or a taupe color, or like you said, even in black.
Yeah, and I see that you've got a few over here.
Sure. This is a light champagne, so in having this color, it lets a lot of the detail of the dress pop. And this is actually our most popular dress. These cutouts here allow for structure, but still allow for a unique design.
I notice there's some lace on this, but some brides want a whole lot of lace.
Right. So lace is very popular, and this is one of our most popular lace gowns. It's by Stella York, and you can see that having a little bit darker background really makes that lace pop.
It really does. It's amazing what a difference that makes. One of the things that I love about your shop is you have dresses that look really high-end, high couture, yet they don't come with that price tag.
Yeah, we really want every bride to have the same experience. So even though the gowns are a little less expensive, they're still really high quality.
And they are. So if I want to try on one of these gowns, and I do, by the way, what's the best way to do that, or anything else in the store?
Sure, you can visit our website at mycouturebridal.com, or give us a call, or just drop in. We allow walk-ins, so if you're out on a Sunday afternoon with your friends, just stop in and check us out.
You have so many gorgeous
Thank
dresses.
you.
Julie, thank you so much for letting me come in and play.
Thanks for stopping in.
Absolutely. Today, the average wedding costs $25,700. So if you want to make sure you get the most for your money, be sure to hire reliable, trustworthy vendors like the ones we just showed you. I'm Sierra Scott. Thanks for watching.
Oh gosh, hopefully follow me on Instagram. Follow us on Instagram. It's Pretty Old Stuff NWA. You can always give us a call as well.
And you know, the one thing,
And as well, really? As well?
that
As
kind
well.
of threw me.
That
and
was really
I just,
awkward. I'm
Yeah,
so
and
sorry.
that threw me, and I was